Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you regarding the determination of specific activity of enzyme. For example, I have taken an example of alpha amylase. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can calculate specific activity of enzyme using some protocols as well as a little calculation. Okay, so this video on specific activity is also going to include some other factors like how you are going to calculate enzyme activity. Okay, how you are going to calculate the concentration of unknown sample. Okay, so taking all this factor, I'm going to start the session. Okay, so the first thing regarding the principle of specific activity is specific activity is nothing but is enzyme activity per milligram of protein. This is the simple calculation we already know. Okay, whenever we study enzymology, we are aware with this formula that specific activity is nothing but it is the enzyme activity per milligram of protein. Okay, what is enzyme activity? Okay, enzyme activity is nothing but the micromole of substrate getting converted into product per unit time. Here we consider micromole of substrate getting converted into product per unit time. Okay, the unit of enzyme activity is micromole per minute. Means how much micromole of substrate is getting converted into its product per unit time, or how much micromole of substrate or how much micromole of product is getting produced per unit time. While calculating specific activity, we just take this unit and consider it along with milligram of protein. Okay, consider it means what? We will also include here the milligram of protein. Now the statement becomes the micromole of substrate getting converted into product per unit time and in per milligram of protein. Means how much milligram of protein is required to convert micromole of substrate into product. Okay, so this is the simple statement regarding specific activity we all know. Okay, now let's talk about the protocol. Here also I am going to start with the same thing as I have told you earlier, that specific activity is equal to the enzyme activity per milligram of protein. At last, this is what you need to find. Okay, you need to find specific activity of enzyme. For that you should know the enzyme activity, and for that you will also have to know the milligram of protein taking the reaction. Okay, now enzyme activity can be calculated by a simple formula, that is the microgram of product released. This is my way of calculating enzyme activity. I have also prepared videos on this topic. Multiplying it by 1000 and dividing it by the molecular weight of product. For example, I am taking example of maltose. Okay, I have told you in a simple example of starch getting hydrolyzed into a maltose by using enzyme amylase. So here enzyme activity is the micromole of starch getting converted into product. Okay, and amylase is the enzyme taking the reaction. Okay, so molecular weight of product, that is molecular weight of maltose, is 342. Okay, I am going to use this formula for calculating the enzyme activity. Okay, now what is this microgram of product? Microgram of product is nothing but the unknown concentration you obtained. Unknown concentration you obtained in your sample, that is OD by slope. Okay, we generally calculate the concentration of unknown, that is concentration of maltose, the concentration of product, by simply dividing the OD with its slope. Okay, slope is generally obtained through the standard graph. Okay, slope you can get through the standard graph. Here for example, you can get the concentration of maltose by comparing it with the standard graph. Okay, by comparing with the standard graph of maltose. Okay, on the second place, if for calculating milligram of protein, what I will require, I will simply need the milligram of protein in the sample. Okay, for example, unknown. Okay, how you are going to calculate the unknown concentration of protein? By using the same method you have used to calculate the unknown concentration of maltose. So for calculating the concentration of protein, we will use Lowry method, as well as for calculating the unknown concentration of maltose, you will require DNSA method. Okay, in which we use dinitrosalicylic acid, which is reduced by end product maltose. Okay, the unknown sample concentration can be known by the same formula, that is OD by slope, and the slope you are going to get through the standard graph of protein. And in standard graph we generally use BSA for getting the standard graph calculation, and through this graph you are going to get your slope. Simply divide that slope with the OD of the unknown sample and you will get your final concentration of protein. Okay, so this is what we generally require while calculating the specific activity. Okay, now before starting, I want to tell you that I have already prepared videos on construction of standard graph for maltose. Okay, how you can produce standard graph of maltose or any product by DNSA method. Okay, I have explained the complete protocol of DNSA method in this video. Then I have also prepared one video on how you can calculate the slope from any standard graph. Okay, and then I have also prepared one video on how you can calculate the enzyme activity. Okay, in this video I have given complete principle, protocol as well as the calculation, and this is one protocol that I have posted recently on Lowry method for determining protein concentration. By using this method you can get the concentration of protein in milligram, okay, which we require. Okay, so now let's get started with our protocol. Okay, the first thing we require is the calculation of enzyme activity. Okay, we know that for calculating specific activity we should have the enzyme activity, and then we are going to calculate the milligram of protein. Okay, for getting these two units you will have to perform two different protocol. Okay, for this you will need another protocol, and for this you will have to follow another protocol, right? Now for calculating enzyme activity you will have to prepare this set, in which you are going to require 3 test set. Okay, in which I am going to use enzyme concentration, varying enzyme concentration. Okay, for example, the first set is T1 B1. B1 means blank, B2 means blank, B3 means blank. Okay, for each test tube we are going to require its respective blank test tube. Okay, so the test 1 is going to contain 1 ml of starch and 0.2 ml of enzyme. And remember one thing, whenever you are performing DNSA method, always use enzyme in your test tube rather than using starch, because many times starch also reacts with DNSA and it can interfere with your results. Okay, and then you are going to add buffer of 0.8 ml in your test tube and 1.8 ml in your blank. Okay, we are using buffer and we are making up the volume to 2 ml. Similarly, in test second we are increasing the concentration of enzyme to 0.4 ml and we are going to add buffer 0.6 ml, and in test 3 test tube we are going to use 0.6 ml of enzyme and 0.4 ml of buffer. Okay, one thing that you should have in mind, that with the increasing concentration of enzyme your absorbance should also increase, your enzyme activity should also increase. Okay, this is a general common sense. After that, you will have to incubate it at room temperature for 10 minutes. Okay, this incubation is for the reaction to occur between starch and enzyme in appropriate suitable condition. After the reaction, we are going to add DNSA 1 ml in each test tube, including blank. This DNSA is going to reduce the maltose the maltose is going to reduce this dinitrosalicylic acid, and it is going to convert the orange color into red color, that is your final end product. Okay, so after adding DNSA, you will have to boil it, you will have to keep it in boiling water bath for around 10 minutes so that red color will appear after the reaction, and then you will have to take up the absorbance. Okay, so after taking absorbance, I have taken some examples. Okay, I have just added here directly. Okay, these are not appropriate results. So first test tube is giving 0.173, second is giving 0.405, and third one is giving 0.793. Okay, now you are having the OD of unknown. Okay, this is the unknown OD. If I want to know the concentration of these T1, T2 and T3, T1, T2 and T3, what I will require? I will require the slope of maltose. I will require the slope of maltose. Okay, and previously, as I have told you in my video, I have calculated the slope and it is around 0.00096. I am simply going to divide the OD by 0.0096, and now you are having your unknown concentration in your hand. Okay, for example, let's take it one by one. For example, the slope is 0.00096. The concentration of unknown can be calculated by OD by slope, and the formula of enzyme activity is given right here. The test tube T1 is having the absorbance of 0.173, and we are going to divide it by 0.00096. Similarly, for T2, it is 0.405 divided by 0.00096, and for T3 it is 0.793 divided by 0.00096. After calculating, you are going to get 180.20 microgram. For this, 421.87 microgram, and for this you are going to get 826.04 microgram. I have already calculated everything, so you should know the method of calculating the concentration, therefore I am doing it directly. Okay, now I am going to use this concentration in the place of microgram of maltose released. Okay, so microgram of maltose released in T1 tube is 180.20 multiplied by 1000 divided by molecular weight of maltose or whatever is your product, and multiplied by incubation time. We have incubated the test tube for 10 minutes at room temperature. Okay, similarly, the second one will be 421.87 multiplied by 1000 divided by 342 into 10. For third one, it is going to be 826.04 into 1000 divided by 342 into 10. The final results, you will get 52.69 micromole per minute. I can write here direct U. Okay, U means enzyme activity, it is the unit for enzyme activity. For second one, it is 123.35 unit. For third one, it is 241.53 unit. What does this unit means? For the T1 test tube, 52.69 unit means that 52.69 micromole of substrate are converted into product per unit time. Okay, so this is what enzyme activity means. Now you are having the enzyme activity in your hand. Now we will switch to the another protocol for determining the milligram of protein. Okay, so for calculating the milligram of protein, we are going to follow Lowry method. Okay, so the first thing is you will have to prepare a standard graph. Okay, for standard graph, through standard graph you are going to get your slope. Okay, so you can follow this protocol for your standard graph. And the second graph is for unknown concentration of protein. Okay, means how much concentration of protein is present in your reaction tube. Okay, for example, here you have added 0.2 ml of enzyme, means how much concentration. Similarly for 0.4 ml means how much concentration, and similarly 0.6 ml means how much concentration. This you are going to get through this protocol. Okay, we are going to compare each and everything accurately. Okay, remember this thing that accuracy is the most important thing while performing such protocols. Okay, so for standard graph we are going to use bovine serum albumin. You can use 100,000 microgram per ml of stock solution and prepare this set. Okay, then the concentration is also given. For example, I have told you that I have taken 1000 microgram per ml. Okay, then we can calculate that for 0.8 you will require 800, for 0.6 you will get 600, then 400, then 200. Use distilled water and make up the volume to 1 ml. Okay, don't add your BSA stock solution in your blank. Okay, remember one thing, that don't add the test solution to your blank. After that you are going to add reagent C, each 4 ml, then incubate it at room temperature for 10 minutes. Then add FC reagent and then incubate it at room temperature for 50 minutes. Okay, now just have a look at the second portion. Okay, in the second part you will have to prepare 3 test tube. You will have to take 3 tests, T1, T2 and T3. In these 3 test tubes you will have to add the test enzyme, not BSA. Okay, note this thing, not BSA. Here you will have to add the test enzyme which you have used in this protocol. Okay, here you have taken the enzyme amylase. So similarly you will have to use your enzyme amylase here, 0.2 ml, 0.4 ml and 0.6 ml. Okay, and we will have to find the concentration of these three test tubes with varying enzyme concentration. So, and just continue the protocol given above. Okay, add distilled water and make up to 1 ml, then add reagent C, then incubate it, then FC reagent, then incubation and then absorbance at 660 Nm. Okay, now I have given here examples of absorbance. You can consider it for the study. Okay, so this is the same protocol. Through this you are going to get the standard graph. Just plot the standard graph through this. Plot concentration versus absorbance. Okay, just you will have to plot the OD here and concentration right here, and you will get a straight line and you will get the slope. Okay, through this you are going to get the slope. These 3, T1, T2 and T3 are unknown. For this you will just have to divide the OD by slope. Okay, for example, I am writing it right here. T1 will be equal to, OD is given 0.0229 divided by slope. For example, slope let's consider 0.00014. For T2 you will have 0.0285 simply divided by 0.00014. Okay, then for T3 you will have 0.0352 divided by 0.00014. Okay, the final answers you are going to get is in microgram. Okay, remember that I am calculating in microgram. You will have to convert it in milligram further. For example, the first one will be 163.5 seconds, second one will be 203.57 and third one will be 251.42 microgram. Okay, now you are having the microgram of proteins that you have used in your test solution. Okay, so you are having the concentration of protein we have just calculated. Now for converting it in milligram, you will simply have to divide it by 1000. Okay, you will have 0.16, 0.20 and 0.25. This is the milligram of protein in the reaction mixture. we have already calculated the enzyme activity. Now we will just have to simply calculate the specific activity. Okay, so specific activity will be enzyme activity 52.69 divided by milligram means 0.16. 123.35 divided by 0.20. Now then this one is 241.53 divided by 0.25. The final answer will be 329.31. The unit is unit per mg. Okay, U means the unit for enzyme activity per milligram of protein. Okay, this one will be 616.75 unit per milligram, and this is going to be 966.12 unit per milligram. Okay, so I hope you understood this all very well. Just I want to say is, please refer my previous videos for getting the enzyme activity concept, as well as the Lowry method, as well as the slope, standard graph. This all thing I have already uploaded on YouTube. Please refer that thing and then come to this video. Okay, then please revise this video. You will have a simple complete idea regarding enzyme activity, specific activity, and no doubt will be left in your mind. Okay, still if there is something that that is hindering you, please comment in the comment section and let me know regarding the doubts you are having. Okay, thank you so much, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do share with your friends who are in your stream of life science, who are performing these protocols in their daily routine. Okay, thank you so much.